Well, again, everybody, it's Plowboy's Ghost Channel. Y'all had asked for an update on the Rossi 92 that I had to send back the 16-inch stainless 45 Colt Trapper that I had to send back to Rossi. If y'all remember, and I don't mind giving an update here for those who didn't catch the first videos. I bought it new. Matter of fact, I bought it the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. Got in about a week later, something like that. Bought it online, place up in Pennsylvania. Came in, and a few days after I got it, I went just gonna load it up, shoot it. It wouldn't cycle my 255 grain hand loads. Thought that's odd because I've had a bunch of Rossi 92s that cycled all of them easily. And I got to messing with it, looking at it, and eventually, first of all, that thing was gouging the hell out of my brass. At the loading gate. I mean, it was cutting 4 long, deep gouges in my brass, and I didn't like that at all. But I thought, well, I'll get a wooden dowel and some sandpaper, stick it in the loading gate, and I'll fix it like that. But when that thing wouldn't cycle my rounds, I got to looking at it, and I could see where it was hanging up on the right side cartridge guide. And I noticed it when it would hang up, that the cartridge guide moved just a hair. It wiggled. And I thought, okay, that thing's loose. So I go over to the screw on the outside of the receiver above the loading gate, and I don't even put any torque on it. I just start to turn it, and it never catches and never acts like it's tightening up. Well, that's no bueno. And when I loosened the screw to take it back out, just turn it over, and the cartridge guide fell out, and it was cracked. Right along on top and bottom, it was cracked on the screw hole where the material's the thinnest. Make a long story short, I couldn't find one anywhere to buy. I called Rossi and dealt with getting a hold to them, and that was a little bit of an ordeal. And they refused to send me the cartridge guide. Seemed like it would be pretty simple, I thought. Want me to send a rifle in? Well, it's time I didn't know I had a FedEx ship center nearby, so I carried it to my dealer, and it took them roughly 2 weeks of dealing with their normal business, plus, because I didn't buy it from that dealer, I just had it transferred through him, and he was nice enough to help me. It took them a couple of weeks to get the label and everything to get it sent off, so that thing's done sat there a while. Never fired. He got back to Rossi. It showed received for weeks and weeks. And finally, I just called them and said, hey, y'all got an idea when y'all going to get to that, or what's turnaround time? It's about 6 weeks right now. Well, later that day, they updated my repair status. You can check it online with your serial number to repair in process, which it stayed repair in process for more weeks. Okay. Well, yesterday I noticed that the status had changed to need more info. Seems kind of odd. So this morning I get up and call them. Right after they open, I get a gentleman on the phone who's, he looks into it, and he comes back and says, well, they can't repair the rifle. He said they have put a cartridge guide in it, multiple cartridge guides in it, that they've put other parts on the internal. He said they've even changed the barrel, which I don't know why they changed the barrel. He said, but the gun won't cycle. It won't cycle at all, and the reason is because the receiver is out of spec. My option is to take the full MSRP on that gun, which was $880 something, $860 something, and use it toward the full MSRP on something else. And if there's something else I like that costs more, pay the difference. They'll send it to my dealer. Full transfer, send it to my dealer. Okay. And I looked at the other Rossi 92s, and I looked for that one. He said, no, that one's not available right now. They're out of stock. Looked at the other ones, even the 20-inch blued and even the 20-inch 454. They couldn't get them to me. He said, just look it over, look the side over, and gave me a number to call back, or, a ticket number to call back and kind of speed the process up, and let us know what you think, what you want, and we'll figure it out from there. So, okay, sure. Well, I called back with an idea, that I'm going to double check on this 20-inch Rossi blued 45 Colt, which I didn't want. I wanted a 16-inch like I had. And the woman that I got this time, she informed me after a little check-in, she goes, we don't sell the Rossi 92 under, we don't sell the 92 under Rossi anymore. We don't make it anymore. I was like, well, it's still in your catalog. She says, I know, but it's gone to Heritage. I said, so what you're saying is that I have to take something I don't want, otherwise I have nothing. She said, well, we can send you back the one that's, that you sent in, but it's going to be useless to you. Who the hell wants that? So I stayed polite about it. She was polite about it. It was just I didn't like what she was saying, but she was saying as nicely as she could. I don't fault her at all for that. She was pleasant. But I ended up, because they don't make just a few revolvers. And if you go to buy one of those revolvers in a store, it's a $500-something revolver, and they let me know right quick there's no mechanism for giving me cash back. So if I'd have chose a gun, let's be honest, y'all, I had $715 before transfer fee in that one. If I had in that Rossi stainless rifle, trapper, if I had chosen their version of, their stainless 6-inch or whatever it is, 357 Magnum, which I really don't want, that gun, if I go find it in a store, it's probably going to be a $500 gun, and in there I'm going to be out a couple of $100 or more, with a gun that might be kind of cool. But I went to 41 Magnum. I got out of 357. 357's cool, but it's not my cup of tea anymore. So after a little more study, I agreed to take a 16 and a half inch, whichever it is, threaded like I want that crap, on a lever gun, R95 Trapper in 4570. All right, now as for what it is, the gun may be great, and all the reviews I've seen are good, but I have an 18 and a half inch Marlin 1895 CBA, octagon barrel straight stock, that's like I want one to be, that I ain't shot in years. I wouldn't get rid of that gun, but I ain't shot it in years. And I'll eventually drag it out, and y'all will be surprised. Here's a video of a 4570, talk to y'all more about it. And I know I'm making a long story longer than necessary here, but I had to pay $170-something, give them a credit card for $170-something between what I had and about the only thing that I could tolerate that I don't really want. I'm gonna grumble because not about the people I talked to. The people I talked to were just fine. Of course, it appears that the first gentleman gave me some bad information and let me think that he could get me a Rossi 92. According to the second lady, she don't know why he even said that. Who knows with all this mess? All I know is that the only gun that Rossi had that I was interested in, the only gun that Rossi has that I really want, is a 16-inch R92 45 coat. Be it blue, be it stainless. The 20-inch I could live with. Those are the only guns I want. The only thing they make that I want. I'm taking something I don't want. Just so that I don't, lose everything I had in that one that they couldn't fix. So I guess that'll be what it take. Of course, add insult to injury. She told me, it shows we have that R95 Trapper 4570 in stock, but it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks before we send it to your dealer. I said, ma'am, if I was deer hunting with this, if I had bought that other gun to deer hunt with 2 months before deer season and never got to shoot it, and y'all have had it nearly the whole time, and I was going to miss deer season, I missed out up to this point, and then now you're telling me 6 to 8 more weeks of deer season before I might get the gun that I don't really want that bad that I'm having to take. I said, I'm not happy about that at all. And they say those calls are recorded. I hope they are. And I said, I know it's no fault of yours. She goes, but I'd like for this complaint, for my feelings about it, to be passed up the line so that the people who deserve the complaints maybe can hear about the complaint. And she says, well, in all honesty, she says, it probably won't take 6 to 8 weeks. She says, but I have to tell you that. Of course, the first guy I talked to was talking about sending me out a Rossi 92 replacement in Monday, just next week after Thanksgiving. So I don't know what the story is. All I know is, Rossi, if y'all are done with the Rossi 92 and I can't get one through you, I don't like what you're selling through Heritage, because I don't like the fact that the barrel is on the ones that I saw on the 16-inch on the Trapper or whatever, and it may be on others, the barrel's longer than the magazine tube. I don't like that. And I don't like that I've got to jump through another hoop, you know, to go get something through Heritage now. And the fact that, I don't know, I don't feel like I was done right completely. I'm just a little upset. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to take this Rossi 95. It may get traded off immediately. I might not even take it out of the daggum box. I don't know. I'll just have to decide that when it comes in. I'm going to take it just so I don't lose everything I had. I'm upset that I had to give more for something that I didn't really want, because y'all can't stand behind what you sold me or what y'all built and in effect sold me. Of course, you made a good point to tell me that it wasn't your fault because you didn't sell it to me. The place that I bought it from sold it to me. But yeah, it's yours. You know, the dealership down the road ain't the one who puts out the recalls and stands behind the cars. I mean, they do, but it's company backed. The company, the manufacturer, you know, Chevrolet, Ford has to really stand behind the whole thing. It's not just the little dealer who got your, you know, bought your reject vehicle or your reject gun and then stuck a customer with it. It's not just on them, it's on you too. So Rossi, I'm talking to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I hate to say it. After this, I am not going to recommend, if you see a Rossi 92 out there still for sale, and there's a bunch of them still for sale, new, just know this, that if you find yourself with a gun that don't run, and Rossi can't fix it just like they couldn't fix mine, you better find something else in their line or be willing to pay a lot more for something else, because you're not going to get one and you know, you're not going to get a Rossi 92 in exchange for one that you bought in good faith thinking that they could stand behind it. Rossi, I'm done. You killed the 92. That's a handy little, perfect little packing and, you know, truck gun and whatever else. I don't care about none of that other stuff y'all building. So I may be, like I said, no fault of your customer service representatives I talked to on the phone. They were both very polite and tried to be very helpful, and can't fault them at all. I called them first thing in the morning. That's a testament to their good nature and quality, their dedication to representing your company. Y'all, Rossi, that upsets me. It really does. I guess I'll have to find out what's that other company that's making them now. Oh shoot. Anyway, I need coffee and I need breakfast. That's where I stand. Rossi 92 is dead. Rest in peace. That'll be my last one.